I'm visiting Tony Bosma, and he's one of my dear speaker colleagues here in Holland, and he's a futurologist, someone who watches trends, and especially the way he does it, and especially because he's very sympathetic guy. That's one of the reasons I really like to talk to him about things that are going to happen in the future and that's going to affect our lives. So please join me in watching the way Tony is watching the world. Tony, first of all, thanks for your time. You're a futurologist, a futurist, a trend watcher. Actually, can you tell us a bit more of what you are?
Yes, of course. Many people call me a futurist or a trend watcher. What I'm doing all day is I'm just looking at what's happening in our outside world. So what's happening in our environment, in society. So I'm looking at science, I'm looking at economics, I'm looking at society, innovation, and I'm connecting all those different events to certain trends and developments which really affect us. The way we work or how a company doing their jobs.
Okay. And how do you do that? How do you gather all this information? I mean, you're just one guy?
Yes.
But how do you do it?
Just one guy.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm one guy with several computers.
Okay.
And all those computers are continuously monitoring 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they are monitoring at public sentiments and patents, innovations.
Okay.
And when they see something happening a certain dimension or a certain way, I get an alert and they say, well, have a look at this technological development, because a lot of people are writing about it, and and I'm thinking about what will be the effects of it on our society.
Okay.
So it's just several computers who are watching the world and what's happening in the world for me.
Okay.
And of course I do a lot of lectures and presentation and workshops in internationally. So I see a lot of different companies, so I'm not looking only at finance but also looking at public organizations.
Right.
So I see a lot of different things.
So you combine all those information and then you will spot trends, but you also told me that you're working together with a few, how many, 12 or 10?
Yeah, there are, once a year we write the trendrede,
Okay.
and that's with 12 trend watchers, Dutch trend watchers, and then we are combining our insights, our knowledge, to write together one vision about, it's only for the Netherlands, about what's happening here in the Netherlands.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do think that is one of the trends that you already spotted. I mean, 12 guys doing the same job, trend watching, but combining this is that exactly, is that something that we're gonna see more in the future? Sharing knowledge, etc.
Yes, I think one of the biggest trends is the shift from ego towards eco.
Okay.
Well, sharing is the new having. Well, when you look at trend watches, they're all egos. Let's be honest.
Yeah, okay.
They're all egos, and well, we thought we have to share our knowledge with society. Because a lot of people are missing a vision of where are we going to? They think we are in a crisis. I don't think so. We are in a fundamental transition, and a lot of people think that we are going. When the crisis is over, we are going back to the world we came from.
Yeah.
Well, I don't believe it. Anyone who thinks that we come out of this transition and get back to business as usual is, I think, deeply and profoundly mistaken.
Okay.
So with 12 trend watches, we gathered our forces and wrote a vision about what the world is developing towards, and what's happening right now, what does it mean for our lives, and how we work together, and how we consume, and who we trust. So that's the trend rate.
Okay.
And really working together and give it for free to our society.
Right. Is this also something to share your knowledge and give it for free? Is that also a trend, or?
No, it doesn't always have to be for free, but I think you have to. It's also the rise of a reputation economy. So how people are talking about you and sharing things about you is very important for your own reputation. And when you share your knowledge, you always get something back. So we wrote the trendrede, and now it's the fifth year, and the fourth year, and we get a lot of new initiatives and ideas from people around the Netherlands who are working on all these new trends. So it gives us a lot of things, feedback. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we were already discussing the trend from go to eco, sharing knowledge. Do you see other big trends, big movements globally?
Well, I think it's so. Like I said, it's not a crisis. It's a fundamental transition.
It's transition,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. It's, I think the biggest challenge we are now facing as humanity is to live within the borders and the boundaries of our planet.
Okay.
Right? The way we consume and how we consume and how we produce is not sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we are moving from a linear world to a circular world. So everything we take from society, from our planet, we have to give back. And most of our systems and procedures are now purely focused on linear.
Mm-hmm.
It's also very hierarchic.
Hierarchic.
So we see, it's top-down organized, and I think we're now going towards a world which is more networked and based on equality. So the redefinition of value, what's value? We are used to a world where we translate everything towards money.
Mm-hmm.
We think money is the most important value asset.
Mm-hmm.
And now you see the rise of totally new value systems.
Mm-hmm.
Your own personal data is becoming a form of value.
Right.
So there's a lot of fundamentally trends which are really affecting every business model of every organization, I think. So I think it's a transition where we move from a world dominated by organizations towards a world dominated or
created world.
Yeah, created from by people, more by people. It's not about organizations. It's we are humans, so we have to and we must live in with our planet together, and it's not about growth. Financially, but we have to grow more, maybe spiritual.
Right. Well, that is the word that pops up into my mind. We've been discussing that earlier. But it's like a mind shift. Yes. Something has to happen in our mind, because when I listen to you, the first thing that pops up into my mind is that globally, I think we got 50 really, really big companies that have their angles everywhere. So it's still a world dominated by those 50 or companies. So this is really a major mind shift, because I don't think those guys want to lose their money, because they're all somewhere on the NASDAQ or wherever. How are we going to do that?
Well, it's already happening. You see the big transition is coming from coming from society, and it's not only from the big major companies. The most fundamental innovations are coming also from the society. I think it's we come from a world where organizations had power because they had unique access towards knowledge, they had unique access towards communication, they had unique access towards money, and even technology. And now you see that everyone in society has already, in Western society, has access towards knowledge. The smartest person in the room is the room itself. That's the world we are now creating. Everyone has access towards communication. With one tweet you can have more effect than 1 billion costing euros marketing campaign. So everyone can have a voice in this world. The peer-to-peer network, peer-to-peer financing. People are financing each other. But also technology is also becoming available for everyone. Yeah. So I think that we now have the tools to really change the world from society, to do it ourselves. Okay. More than ever, we are less dependent on big and large corporations.
What does this mean for? I mean, this must mean something for working together in teams or cooperating, or what kind of trends do you see in that line?
Yeah, I think that companies are becoming more transparent, open houses, and you see a lot of companies still organized by silos. And I think we must get rid of the silos, of course. And I think the companies which will be successful in the near future are those companies which are able to connect with society And so they have to become open, transparent, work together with society. Just not innovate when you put a small team for a couple of years in an innovation center and just put a product on the market. Well, I think that era is over. But you have to do it together with the people you are working with and your potential markets. So you have to do it together. It's the change from where you had organizations doing things for people towards organizations doing with people together. You have to do it together. Look at the examples of Kickstarter or Indiegogo, where you see that new ideas are posted online and people are voting on it, putting money on it, and then they're making the products. So I think that's a fundamentally shift also in innovation and work together.
So for a lot of our viewers are people that work in teams, team leaders, managers, entrepreneurs. What are the main things the main tips, the main advices you like to give those people?
When you look at the future, I think you have to do three things. You have to learn to think exponential. 1 1 is 1, 2 2 is 4, 4 4 is 16. I think that the changes we are now undergoing are fundamentally and are exponential, are going very fast. So you have to think exponential to understand what's happening in the future. You have to unlearn what you have learned. Unlearn what you have learned is not about power; it's about sharing. And a lot of generations I know is that we are grown up with the ego sentiment, the ego. But it's about sharing. It's about doing things together. And expect the unexpected. I think when we look at science, when we look at technology, that we are in the near future we will see some breakthroughs of which I really thought it wasn't able to do. It wasn't possible indeed. But they will really come now. So I think it's very important and really change your mindset. It's really a fundamental change in zeitgeist. So it's not a zeitgeist of change, but a change of zeitgeist, they say. So it's not about all those changes, but it's about the fundamental revolution which is now happening is in our mindset. It's who we trust, what we value. And that's happening right now in Europe, but all over the world.
All over the world. So become exponentially or think exponentially, share everything, think ego instead of your ego.
Exactly.
And
unlearn.
Oh, gee, that will be hard.
Yes, really. But intelligence is not the reproduction of knowledge. Then you are not intelligent. Intelligence is question the things you think you know. That's being intelligent.
So ask questions.
Ask questions.
With everything we do.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for answering a few of my questions.
Thank you.
And I hope our viewers will ask lots of questions and question themselves and the actions they do.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.